who we got here? How's everyone doing? So listen, the format that we spoke about yesterday is kind of like looking at how we have performed in the, yes, we are recording. Thank you, Kazia. I am on it. Is how we are performing since we've started the program. We've done a month now, and I have been seeing some great stuff come up in the comments and the modules. There've had to be a couple of like nudges for myself in terms of getting you up and running and going. But I really just want you to kind of talk to me about like how your first milestone went in terms of achieving your first checkpoint, what you kind of got planned here, what you're kind of learning, and you know, some of those areas that you can improve on. So who's first? Tom is. Let's go, Tom.
Yeah, can I go first? I don't know whether you got my message, mate. Just I'm going to have to jump out after this and go over to my mobile phone, if that's all right. But I'll listen in. I'll just turn the video off. It's just one of my lads has phoned in sick, so I'm going to have to jump in there.
Let me just.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm just going to get my format up. 2 secs. Let me just.
No worries, mate.
Where did I put that? I know that Karen can't make it as well. All right, let's start with here. So let's start with your biggest 2 wins of January.
Yep. So biggest win, probably the first one is the morning routine. I brought that over from your other course, but just I've really sank into that. Just knowing the importance of it, taking time out, warming up for the day ahead. Also as well, what I've done with my morning routine, it's like what you've put, it's like it's your AM. So instead of my morning, I was always thinking my morning routine is when I'm at home getting ready to go to work. But what I've done is I've kind of extended that to kind of 9 o'clock, and so I've got kind of 2 hours at work that is included in my morning routine. I've got the commute, which is included in my morning routine.
100%.
Yeah, and it's fantastic because obviously what I've started doing as well is kind of stacking habits. So while I'm doing something, so like you've said before, commuting to work, I've ticked an audio book off. So it's things like that which I found really beneficial.
Amazing.
So definitely, and also within that month, I've obviously had some curveballs where I haven't done a morning routine, and I've seen the impact of what that has. I feel sluggish. I don't, I'm kind of all over the place. I think, Jesus God. I still suffer from, having a bad night's, when you get a bad night's sleep or you wake up or things like that. It's really hard not to push that snooze button for another hour. It is hard.
Like this morning, Tom, I can tell you that I was that close away from staying in bed, and I haven't done that for about 3 years. 3 years, I don't think. And this morning, I had such a tension headache yesterday, and I was in such a deep sleep. I went, fuck it, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And then I knew that I know full well if I had done that, I would be in the shittest mood ever. And it was just
exactly, mate. And I think it's that thing as well. I was trying to advise somebody who was in the same boat, and I was saying, look, the fact of the matter is that hour of sleep that you get from snoozing, it's great, but that hour, if you get up and you wash your face, if you get yourself in it, you do your exercise, the benefit of that outweighs an extra hour. You can catch that up at another time. So so morning win is definitely top. The other thing, what I've been really struggling with, if you remember me saying about, my dad's a businessman, entrepreneur, drive. My mum's a hippie, chill out, take it easy at the beach. And I was really like, and you advised saying, well, who are you? So I've got real kind of I suppose spiritual is a word for it. I've delved deeper into, read a few books, including that the Alter Ego one, the Untethered Soul as well, which is absolutely fantastic book. But what I've decided is, why can't I be both? So when I turn up for work, why can't I be like the elite operator? Why can't I be that kind of a bit more, not personality, more into my routines, less emotion, just more sort of thing. And then when I'm at home, flip over to, Tom, Dad, and and be a bit peaceful and just relaxed and
100%.
fun. So
Mate,
it's
100%.
I
When
love
I'm
it.
home, I'm the fucking dosser. Like,
Love it.
I just like Netflix.
I've seen it, mate, on your vlog.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's why I do the vlogs, so like people
Yeah.
can see like
Brilliant.
when I'm in here, 100%. You put the hat on, you do the business, you do your work, you help your people. When you go home, you're the dickhead to the missus because you're just annoying. Like, do you know what I mean?
Love
You just you be yourself. Like that alter ego only works when you in the areas that you need it to work in. So when you need to switch it on, you switch it on. And when you're at home, your dad's, you're just messing around. Do you know what I mean?
It.
Good, brilliant. All right, two areas for improvement.
Nutrition, breakfast, dinner at work.
So just the whole food.
Do you know what it is? Is I literally got home and my missus said you look like a zombie, and I thought it was just to do with work and what because I'm in the warehouse and manufacturing at the moment, so it's hard work. And I was like, you know what, I am knackered. So it really affected my energy levels. When my missus kind of stepped up, she was like, right, not taking this anymore. I'm going to cook for you. So she meal prepped me, sent me on my merry way with my lunchbox. Do you know, like, I'm off to work now, darling. I came back and she was like, here he is. Here, do you know, I was
a stick with like a little lunchbox at the end of it.
Just like trotting off to there, like, hey. I'm not that small, mate. Bloody hell. So yeah, and it really worked. Now, my missus has been a bit poor. She got a bad back, so she hasn't been able to do that, and I ain't stepped up to the mat. So the beginning of this week, I've not had dinners. I've eaten shit. I feel shit again. So obviously I'm learning. So it's kind of like, right. So yesterday in my morning routine, I boshed out half an hour and I did my prep. It was so easy. Cooked her one, did my one, really enjoyed it because I love cooking. So it's quite therapeutic. And even in that, have it start, listen to an audio book or just zen out for a bit and just enjoy the moment. But that's so although it's my negative, I've known what I've learning from it. I need to eat my dinners and I need to get that.
Learn, experience, grow.
Exactly. And then I think that kind of goes on. The other loss, something that I can learn on is it's that presence and patience with a family. So when I have gone home and I am tired and I am mentally drained, and I've walked in and it's like Beirut, you know, and everything's gone crackers, I just think to myself, come on, what is going on here? So I haven't got the patience. I am finding that Alfie's going, oh, come and play with me, daddy, come and play with me. And I'm just like, I've got nothing. I can't seem to turn that around as well. I can't seem to, but I think maybe if I get back into that nutrition, then I'm going to get, and go through the transition, like you've said, turn off at 3, review, plan the next day.
I'm going to go through something with you in a minute. So give me your biggest takeaway from January.
My biggest takeaway, right, this is really important. What's happened is, I can't believe I've got to 35 years old and not actually understood time. As in, I've had a watch on my hand since I was 15, as a fashion accessory. I've got some lovely watches, and that's what it seems to have always been. Even so, what I've found is by understanding time, and like you say, where you've got your planning, you've got your overwatch, you've got your scheduling, you've got a bit of a diary that's going. Also, when I've got a task, even at home, right, I'll be like, right, I'm washing up, so I'll put a timer on, and I'm not anal about it, but just understanding that if somebody asks me to do something, I'm like, right, what does that equate to in time, and where can I do it? And again, why? But literally, like I say, I've always been there. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. I've not thought, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock. I've got 3 hours left. Does that fit? So just that, it's been life-changing. And that's in my personal life where I'm just going, right, yeah, I've got this segment of time. I've got that segment of time. What can I get into it? So that's my biggest takeaway, just understanding
you're valuing time now, Tom, because you're understanding the value of time rather than before. It was just kind of like a thing. Do you know what I mean?
It slips you by that you never get back.
Yeah, 100%. And you think of all that time that you have wasted is gone.
Let's not think about that.
Okay. So just one thing that I
that.
want to talk here very quickly as you go into February. I want you to think about where you are working, what you are working on at what particular time. I don't truly believe that food is the only culprit in terms of your misplaced energy management and your presence and patience. Like, think about how you work on your day. I'm going to do some training on this on the modules coming up. Okay. So it's like managing your day. So your deepest work, as we always know, we try and do in the morning, 9 to like 12:30. Now, if you're going home feeling like you've been through a war and you're walking through the door, it tells me that you've gone into too much detail in your work at the end of the day. And it means that you haven't had a wrap-up period. Now, the wrap-up period, let's say you finish at 5:30, just for argument's sake, your wrap-up period is going to end up being around maybe 4 or between 4:30. That means you're doing logistical stuff. So that means you're getting your journal, you're planning the next day, you're preparing anything for your deep work session the next day. You're kind of winding down. So you're not winding down at 5:30 and getting home at 6. You're winding down at 4 and getting home at 6. So your brain is starting not to be as intense or as involved. That's where day and weekly management comes in. That's where you must micromanage, where you need to go to the next level and go, right, let me have a look at my days here. And this is what I was talking about. It's like the Overwatch of your, so you're looking at your Overwatch of the week. You're sitting there and going, where's it going to go wrong in energy crisis, in my energy management? Food naturally is going to play a part of that. Of course it is. But also is where you are, what you are doing at what time. And for February, I want you to focus, like you're becoming more aware of your time. I want you to become more aware of how in-depth the tasks are that you're doing at that particular part of the day. So when you journal, if you've been caught out and you go, fuck, I've gone in too deep, like, and you come out, do you know what I mean? And you start becoming, you're very antsy and you go home and it's like, and you're like, shit. I want you to start being more self-aware in that. I do some training on it on the modules coming up this month. But that's what I want you to focus on.
Belton. Yeah, will do.
All right.
Thanks ever so much. Absolutely loving it as always.
Good lad.
Cheers.
Okay, Paul's next to you. Paul, let's go. Oh, let me just ask you to unmute, mate. It might be something to do with your earphones, maybe.
Are we on?
Yeah, you're on. Lovely,
jubbly. How's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing well. I'm loving this process, JB. Absolutely. And it's kind of a wow factor going on because you've now introduced me to Big Phil, who I've never met before, and I'm now on his bloody mastery as well. And it's like, Jesus, all of these things are happening together and it's all clicking into place. And you know, I start thinking, what the hell have I been doing the last 6 months? I've been ruminating and planning all this stuff, and all of a sudden it's all bang, 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 bang.
100%.
So yeah, total appreciation there. So do
you need to be more focused than ever now.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm totally on it. My energy levels are through the roof. The only challenge is potential taking on too much. You know, I was just kind of listing all the different things that I'm doing at the moment. And it's that I don't want to burn out, you know. And recently, I think you did it on a 5-day challenge now this week. Where am I in the order of priorities, and where is everybody else? And to be brutally honest, I put the family at the bottom because they are at the moment, because it feels like I'm always the first priority because I'm very aware of that whole self-care thing. I've been in a bad place a couple of years ago. You know, I'm fully aware of where that can go if we're not. And then it's juggling the other bits, and work has kind of come right to the top just below me. And then unfortunately something has to give, and it's the family. But we're in talks. We're talking every day, and
in negotiations with the family.
it's
I'm going to be out of office for about 6 months. Paul, give me your 2 biggest wins.
So the 2 biggest wins. So I'm going to start off where the other guy finished about time. I've got this sudden realization I haven't just disrespected time. I've abused time. If time was a girlfriend or a friend, they wouldn't be a girlfriend or a friend anymore. You know, it's complete disregard. I'm a doer. I'm a person who cracks on, bang, bang, bang. You know, high energy and stuff, but never really within specific time frames. So now I'm aware of that, and I'm aware of the whole prioritizing thing and the organizing thing. Now it's it's just there's so much more to do though. Work in progress, but massive realizations there. If you keep within the parameters, it makes life so much easier and you can get so much more done.
100%. So give me a second one.
So the second one is about being more specific now, more productive, more pinpointing exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it.
Sniper vision.
Yeah. Rather than a bloody shotgun approach and stray bullets going everywhere. And
that's positive. That's good for the early days, 100%. Definitely.
Yeah.
Two biggest areas for improvement. Probably me and Phil.
So the key thing, all of this is still work in progress. I'm not, you know, I'm pretty good at still keeping an even kill, keeping consistent, being very self-aware. And so the big thing is it's still work in progress. Massively, and I'm actually breaking habits of a lifetime. You know, this is, dare I say my age, 48 years of time abuse, and all of a sudden realization now that there's another way. So it's breaking those habits.
That's awesome.
And
then
the second one is reporting back. You know, this whole thing of keeping up with the with your sort of instructions or timelines on the app. I always struggled a bit with rules, and I think it's part of that. You know, this whole revelation about time and about having a boss and all that sort of stuff. You know, I ended up hating corporate world, all that sort of stuff, and it's that is still seeing the benefit of reporting back, but it's not because you're my boss, it's because I've asked you to keep me accountable, and it's
and I am your boss, so
yes boss. And it's kind of going around in circles, isn't it? You're in the middle, and I'm at either end of it, so I pump information or whatever through you, and it comes back to me in the loop, doesn't it? You know, and
exactly the whole point of the structure that we have, and like obviously you guys are in the beta phase, and you know, and like Tom will know, like this worked really well within our man coach. I've used very much the same structure in my other company. And the biggest, I am watching Phil's group like a sniper. I'm watching everybody that's posting everything. I'm seeing everybody that's being heavily overwhelmed. I'm seeing not just that, the other groups that I'm in. I'm just sitting and observing, watching right now, and I'm seeing what you're talking to me about. The biggest thing that every single one of them is missing is guidance in terms of being held accountable towards their job. Everyone's overthinking it, but there's not, like, you know, Phil is building an empire. He can't do that by himself. Like, we have a product that there's the mastery in the productivity group. There's 500 people in the mastery. There's 59 people in the productivity group. That shows you where people are putting their priorities in terms of like work ethic. Like, they're spending so much trying to fucking figure out all the videos that they're not managing themselves properly, which means they're the asset in the business. So for me, the biggest message that has kind of come out, you know, time domination is only like a month and a half old. And the biggest thing that I think I've realized that I need to make sure that you guys are being is the asset in your business. Because when you are the asset, right, everything runs well.
Yeah.
And that's what really is important. And I'm seeing it, the lack of accountability, like the lack of, like, if you like, someone having their back, someone overwatching them and overwatching a system. You guys have gone from whatever you've gone into to suddenly coming in. You've gone from like chaos to then like suddenly being compacted into a structure that you know where you're going to be, you know what's going to happen. It's like the timetable, right, at college. You know where you're going to be, at what time. And what that does for all of you is improves the pattern of thought, improves that, like, the automation inside of you, in your brain, to says, I have to do this because I have to be accountable here. I have to do this because this is what's required of me. And that's and if you like, the mastermind is the standard that, you know, that's the standard that you're trying to achieve. The minimum requirement is showing up.
Yeah, definitely.
So good.
The thing is, what I need to keep reminding myself is the more I participate in this and the more I do reply, then it's accountability cycle increases, doesn't it? You know, we can still duck and dive if we truly wanted to. You know, we could pay the money, we could, you know, and still not properly be accountable. But I'm determined to stay fully accountable to get the
100%, and that's what it's about. And you know, it comes down to the two rules that I say always about working with me. Is number one, you gotta show the fuck up every day, even if it's just 1%, even if it's just coming in and you're doing your micro morning accountability, and you get that little tick and you're done. And you've got to meet me and the team halfway. So that means doing the modules that I set. You know, albeit that side of things is not probably as structured as I'd like, because as we go through the course, I'm in theory creating the course as we go along. So it's just making, you know, then when we go next quarter, it's going to be even better and even more structured, and so to speak, and even more to add to it. So takeaways for January.
Takeaways, the opportunity out there now available. You know, if I'm not super successful, but I've done pretty bloody well the way I've operated already. And it's like, there's been a lot of sort of crash, bang, wallop, you know, a few casualties here and there. And, you know, I was nearly a casualty myself a couple of years ago. So it's been pretty messy. And I've got like a very strong persistence, resilience, stubbornness inside, and a flame in that. And that's never been in doubt. But this is now to add this to it. Just opportunity. It's I'm just.
But for me, the thing for you is now control and not getting carried away. You have to put in the steps there. And I think for February, you need to be clear and have clarity on what holds and what awaits you for the rest of the year. You know, and if I were you, this is some of the training we're going to be doing later on in February, and some of the modules is nailing where you want to be by the 31st of December. You know, what does that like? I want you to visually go there. I want you to imagine you're there. You're waking up on the 31st and you're reflecting on your year. What's happened? What have you done well? And what are the changes that you've made? Then you reverse engineer that all the way back to where you are right now. And then what's the first step to make that happen?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Fine. Yeah. Cool.
Anything else?
What else was there? No, as I say, I just listed all the different things that I'm doing right now, all the different challenges, and it's and I'm still keeping it all in order. So.
And you think you've only been doing it for 4 weeks, so it's good work.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, that's one of my questions. I don't know where you'd asked the Q&A, but one of the questions was what happens next. I don't know if this is the right forum for
I probably missed that one, so I'm going to talk about that on the next one. So there is an opportunity to come on. So you can just keep going on these quarters. We're going to add more and more, you know, in terms of I mean, I could ask you guys, you know, I don't know if it's worth setting up a separate mastermind where you keep the accountability structure, but I do extra training, or whether you stay within here and then you keep with the community that keeps coming in here. There is going to be an opportunity at the end. So I'm going to be offering an opportunity to work with me on a 1 in 6 small group private basis. That will look a little bit different in terms of, I'm going to be your second husband or wife in terms of being on you. And that will work based on what you want. You're going to tell me what you want to achieve in those 12 weeks. And I'm going to push you to achieve that and go much higher and just literally be on your case. So there will be more information on that in March. And then I'll let you all know, obviously, in due course, if it's something you obviously want to continue.
Okay.
Cool. Paul, thank you and well done.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next? Yeah, let's go, Jamie. Well volunteered.
Cool.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Great. All right, your 2 wins.
So, well, with the lockdowns and things, all my like initial annual planning had gone out the window in terms of like turnover and things like that, and bringing in new members. So the main focus then, and the biggest win, was just to concentrate on like the customers I've got and just like going above and beyond for them and just keeping them engaged. So like out of 80 members in January, like with the lockdown, only 3 went on to hold.
Nice.
And none of them were actually due to COVID. That like one had surgery, one illness, and one works on a COVID ward. And over 70 are doing 2 sessions plus a week. So it's not just like stopping them from cancelling. It's actually, you know, they're actually making the most of it, which is good.
Second win.
And I've gone into like they can't come to the gym, but the business is better and they're getting more value because every Friday now I've added like a check-in day, so I've checked in with every single member every single Friday,
Right.
which is good. And the other 2 staff I've got, I'm getting them because it was becoming too much. I was spending the whole day on the phone. They're starting tomorrow. I've handed them out like 10 customers each just to take the pressure off me.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's probably been the biggest win.
Jamie, I want you, when we finish this, to go and watch this video I just did before we come here. And it's on the Time Domination James Bourman page right here. It's me in my granddad jumper.
Yeah.
And it's what stops me being complacent. And it's like when I went into business on my boot camp in 2013, like I talk about where I was and how like I went from like £600 a month to 100K business by like on being on the bones of my ass. And I think you will get a lot of value with that because I talk about the things that I needed to do to make it work. And like for you, and in your situation, having a bricks and mortar building that is closed, you need that attitude and mentality. So once we finish this, go and watch that video. And now I think that will give you some clarity about what you need over the next couple of months till you get back open.
Yeah, cool. Will do. I'll do that.
Okay, 2 areas for improvement.
Right, I wrote these down. So just in terms of specifically with work, the client check-ins, I think I need to probably go above and beyond and maybe have a few more of the uncomfortable conversations. So a few haven't really been, like I said, majority of them are, but there's a couple who haven't been engaging as much. So to go beyond just messaging them and using it as a tick box exercise and actually like pick up the phone and try and get them unstuck, I guess, rather than just doing it as a task for me. Sort of it's more for them than for me. So yeah, I think that's.
And well, it's about keeping your business ticking over in a difficult time as well. So, you know, that's not something I would recommend in normal practice because we don't want to burn you away. But what we do need is to make sure that we're keeping memberships as high as possible, certainly for the next couple of weeks, right? Couple of months until you get back to normal.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I guess linked with the next one about biggest area for improvement is I think I'm still, you know, I could probably get away with working like 3 hours a day. I don't want to do that. That's not my sort of style, or I wouldn't be happy with that. Same as you saying, if you'd click snooze this morning, that would be me probably.
Yeah.
But I'm probably doing a bit too much. I think I'm maybe getting a bit obsessed and thinking because there's not as much money coming in, I feel like I can't like chill out.
I know exactly where you are, 100%. So that's how I felt when my ad account got cut. That really affected all of everything that I basically had planned, you know, in terms of my targets. So suddenly you get ants in your pants and you're like, what the fuck? So again, and the reason I did that video was because if anything, it was almost like a video journal of how I feel right now and my mentality. So I'm going all out, like right now, like I got no clients. And that's my attitude. You should all go and watch that. In fact, I'll share it in the group. So my mentality is that I've got no one. And every time I come into the office, I visualize that I have no one. I have no audience. I have no clients. I'm on the bones of my ass. So I take that mentality from 2013. And that's the mentality that I have every single day to keep me complacent, stop me being complacent within my business role.
Yeah.
But you have to channel it, okay, so that you don't get completely obsessed and burn yourself out. There has to, like, after 2014, for 2 years, I've become obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. So I want you to be able to control that. Right? Yeah. Okay. Another area for improvement?
Say it again, sorry.
Is there another area?
Those are the 2 main areas of improvement, was just maybe cutting back myself a little bit and just going a bit beyond with having a few more uncomfortable conversations, I guess.
Biggest takeaway?
Yeah, this has been so worthwhile. Like I think because I was always so busy doing hands-on stuff that I wouldn't do any of the main tasks because I justify it by saying, oh, I've done 10 sessions today. I can't possibly do anything else. So it has helped having a bit more time since like the first lockdown. But it's just, the accountability of this and like just checking in every day makes me realize how much I can do, and just the planning. The weekly plan has been probably the best thing because I'd maybe do my Monday morning sessions and then I'd look at my week and I'm already 6 hours in. Whereas I actually wake up on a Monday now and I know what's to come. Good. Yeah, so that's the biggest difference to me, I think, just doing that as well as the daily planning, but the weekly plan I think has been the most beneficial.
Brilliant. Has Ricky checked in with you as well or not?
Yeah, yeah, and every Monday now we started this week doing like a Fit Body Ladies like start of the week like check in, which is good, and it's just nice to not be on your own sort of thing, like
100%.
having this
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Are you feeling all right? Nervous or you're right?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, like 90% of the time, 10% I get like a bit frustrated because I'm impatient because everything with me is always like progress. I always like to move forward and everything's like the master plan. And now it's just I've had
Mate,
to
everyone in here
stop.
is the
Yeah.
same as you, Jamie. Everyone, like everyone, like, you know, I am probably like 20% because I'm like, oh my God, I can't fucking go because I need an ad account.
Yeah.
Come on, fuck. So, you know, dude, you won't be the only one, but it's about, that's where you become resilient. And that's where that's like that mind in your head, right? Really like,
Yeah, I just think if I can get through the last like 12
Yeah.
to 18 months, I can do
Yeah.
anything.
you can do, mate, that's the attitude as well. 100%.
Yeah.
Good, Jamie, well done. Who's next?
Cool, thanks.
Jane, let's do it. Missed out there, Chris.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, did somebody else put their hand up? Sorry.
Too slow. Slow to the mark. we're not doing any more after this now as well, Chris. So, no, I'm joking.
Oh, sorry.
I'm joking. Right, Jane, 2 wins.
2 wins. I've really looked at myself actually, and I've become more aware of me. And I think a part of that is because my life has significantly changed in December.
Yeah, of course.
So sort of going from being with somebody for 7 years to being on my own, my whole life sort of went a bit crazy. So this has been a real big self-awareness for me in my business and personal. So I'm actually caring about me for a change, which I never did before. So I'm on my way to losing nearly 3 stone.
Wow.
And looked at all the different aspects of my business and worked out that, how to be me, to be honest. So mine's been sort of quite an inner growth, I think.
So it's identity, isn't it? So it's kind of facing. So I think when you've been with someone for so long, what you end up doing is going through, you build an identity of how you are with that person. And actually when you come away from that person, this is what I felt when I first separated with my wife, and I was actually like, oh God, who am I? Like, what do I like?
Yeah.
Where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? And what actually got me through that was actually going into entrepreneurship. When I started my first business, that's when I started to figure out who I was again and finding a path again. So, you know, it's exciting. It's like a brand new chapter.
Yeah. Well, I started this journey back in July, which is why I'm not with him anymore.
Okay, well, there you go.
Because I was growing and he wasn't. But I think what actually happened, and I've got to accept this, is that I ran a challenge on the 4th of January, but I was not ready. I shouldn't have done it. I did give it 100% when I delivered it, but I shouldn't have done it. I wasn't very well. And I think the moment what happened in December hit me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't postpone it. I had to do it because I'd already postponed it once. So I did it. I got a big sale from it, which will see me through. But it made me realise, it's been growth for me. I think the whole answer is growth.
Fail, learn, grow. Fail, learn,
absolutely,
grow.
yeah.
100%, definitely. Cool, good win. Second win?
Realising how I work and segmenting my time efficiently. Yeah, because I'm on my own. I used to get up really early, but I don't necessarily do that now, but I just structure my day very differently because I can.
Yeah.
So I do actually work of an evening, and I do that on purpose.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it doesn't and I always say this, it doesn't have to be the way that I do. Like, I think sometimes people misconcept that, like they expect me to, like, you're going to be like a JB. I just want you to do what works in your lifestyle. I kind of give a model, you adapt it to work for you. And that's what you do. That's great.
Yeah. So basically I just structure my day. So I might go out during what would be your initial kill zone.
Yeah, 100%.
But for me, if I'm on my own of an evening, I'll do a bit of work then, because at the minute that's fine.
Well, and it's probably nothing else to do as well, is there? Until you start. When
Well,
you start
we're
socialising.
in France. We're on curfew, so we have to be at home from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So not that we could go anywhere anyway because everything's shut.
Yeah, well, 100. But I think that's the thing that would end up changing. You know, when the lifestyle and the world
Yes.
changes, you'll then adapt.
No, and when it gets lighter here, because it's pitch black in the morning here, could be an hour ahead. It's pitch black.
Yeah.
I do get up early at 6 because it's too hot, so you get up early. But yeah, so biggest wins I think is I'm defining me personally and my business.
Great. Areas for improvement.
Areas for improvement: to not procrastinate.
Did you watch my video the other day?
Yes, I did. I didn't think I did, but I do actually. But I lost my mojo a bit a couple of weeks in January, but it's come back. It's back again. So I'm back in the room.
Back in here, back focused. So it literally is understanding consequences of the actions of putting.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put the video in the group for you all and share it with you because we'll be doing a couple of modules on procrastination.
No, that was really good actually, and that resonated with me. That if I don't sort my head out right now, then my next challenge I won't have many people in it.
When is the next challenge?
22nd of February.
Great, perfect. We've got lots of work to do.
Yeah, so the little nuggets have been really good gems, to be fair. You know, like your little, you know, like the phone thing and the social media thing, and looking at the 5% and the looking at where I can delegate. That's been a really big thing.
100%, that's good. And I think those little things that we've been doing, you know, are all relevant to us becoming much better in our business. When we become more of the asset in our business, that you don't need to learn new techniques or marketing skills. You know them all. You don't know how to get leads in. You know how to get leads in, but you need to know how to manage yourself once you've got all those leads and what direction you're going.
And yeah, I didn't want to show up. I didn't want to do my videos, my 2 things a week. I wanted to hide for a little while because I realised that the emotion that I suffered in December hit me in January. I didn't realise, and then it hit me like a wall. And I didn't want to do a live, but I did. And I patted myself on the back because I thought, even if I just do them, I've done something. So
100%, mate, definitely. And it's the way forward. Another area for improvement?
I've just to be more getting out there. So I'm going to be doing a lot more lifestyle posts.
Putting it on the line.
Yeah, so a bit more of me.
Good. And your biggest takeaway?
From January?
Yeah.
How strong I am.
Oh, nice. Good.
I'm a survivor.
So you now have almost set yourself up with some good fundamentals and good awareness now to really leverage and make some fucking cash like on that challenge. What is the target to make?
I want 5. I've got it on my whiteboard right here. I've got 5. I want 500 people on my challenge.
And how many sell? What, at 5%?
Yeah. So obviously the conversion. Yeah.
How much is your program?
Well, it's going to be 1,200. Although Mike told me to put it up for 3,000.
Yeah. What? 100%. Why not? For how long?
Well, it's a 12-month program.
Yeah. 5,000 for a year one.
It's only because I haven't built it. That's all. That's all. That's the only reason I haven't.
Well, I think you always do your first one as the like.
I did.
Yeah.
It was 780 in November, and then literally the week of my challenge, the UK went into lockdown. Yeah. Again.
Well, the pricing is so difficult. Like I was talking to my guy who's running this ad agency. He was quite right, and I went, right, do you know what? I'm charging $1,000 for the next course for the next quarter. And I was like, it's worth it. Like I know it's worth it, but in my head I'm like dithering around. I'm just like, fucking, just do it. The people that want to work with you and will benefit from you will do it, and the people that don't won't. So
No, I will offer a high ticket 1-to-1, but this is a group coaching session. It's the same as Phil's basically.
Yeah,
his whole how he models his exactly the same. Once a week, group coaching. That's it.
Perfect. Jane, good wins, really good wins. Like personally going to set you up, I think, for February.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm on it.
Good luck with the challenge and keep me posted. Okay, nice. Who's next? Chris. Chris is in.
Hi JB, all good? Hi everyone. Sorry I was a bit late in.
Don't worry, mate. It's fine. Biggest wins for me, Chris.
I guess first is just getting myself sorted, the preparation, the planning, the calmness that then sort of brings, and that sort of feeling of control that you've got the day under control. And then, as you say, when the other bits come along, being able to deal with that because everything else is in hand, so it doesn't all just get out of control and spiral. So that's been a huge benefit on that side. And then moving on to the second one is still part of that. It's now making me look at what I'm doing. How can I then spread that to the rest of my team? How can I make them get into a better place? Are we supporting them? Are we helping them? Part of the change with the HR firm we've moved over to, they provide support for our staff as well. So from that side, as an employer, it's important to me, we give them a good place to work in. I want them to work well, but, what are we doing to look after them and help to sort of keep them happy, comfortable, less likely to leave. So all of those things so that we can, give them a good place to work. So those are probably the big bits, not only developing myself, but then making sure that those around me are getting that opportunity to, sort of develop as well, and making sure that we give them that plan and encourage them to do that. So just simple things, when we're having the appraisal, saying to them, look, well, on your drive in, if it's 20 minutes, do something with that 20 minutes. You've got to get CPD in, listen to a podcast, things like that, because we're flat out busy at the moment. I mean, we're doing 11, 12-hour days, 4 days a week. And then the other day for me is homeschooling, which is slightly less stressful, but it's still not the best day of my week in the nicest possible way.
But that's good that what you're doing personally for you is rubbing off on the team as well. Like there's a couple of guys who work with me in my round table who we have talked about that same thing is, you got to know your own roles and responsibilities then to then get the best out of your staff. And he was going, this person hasn't given me this and this guy's falling behind on this. And I'm going, what training have you given them? Like, what is their roles and responsibilities? How overwhelmed are they? What are they going through? And it just makes you not just think about yourself, but the asset in your business then suddenly starts looking after its assets as the business, which is great to hear. Areas for improvement.
I've been coming back to some of the other guys as well. That sort of part of the big reason for coming into this was that accountability. So it's like I say, you know what you should be doing and you have a fair idea of how to do that. And when you look at it and think at it, well, it's common sense. It's simple. I plan, I work the plan and it works. But it's just having that self-discipline to do it. Or if you come home and you're tired, doing the prep for the next day or doing the accountability, even like sort of Wednesday nights, I got home really late last night. So I didn't do that till this morning. But it's just, if I didn't have to put it in for that, I probably wouldn't have done it. So it's just continuing that motivation. The hockey club I play for, we stopped at Christmas, and this month, and this has sort of made me realise how important that mission is. This month they're doing a challenge, which team can get from where we live to Rome quickest. So everyone's doing the mileage and that all counts and stuff. And that gave me a massive drive to get out there and do more exercise. And it's just, as you said, something you're passionate about, you want to do well, it's that motivation. And that was, a big opener for me to, get on and do more of that. So could I be pushing myself a little bit further? Putting down, I'll run and I'll cycle. The bike rides have been a bit half-assed, if I'm honest. It's kind of like, well, it gets to the weekend, I might do 10 miles, but I can easily do 30 or 40 off-road. So why don't I get out and do a bit more of that? So I think, so continuing to plan and prep and, just make sure that I'm giving my best on that side. Second part, again, but like some of the other guys, is just giving a bit more at home. By the time I get home, it's one of my roles is to try and get home in good time. I'm not getting home now till 8. It was 8:30, nearly 9 last night, and that has a knock-on effect for the management and the kids and stuff. So just trying to improve that. The big difficulty we have is, I know you talk about the guys, from 4 o'clock start winding down, you're home by 6. Well, at 4 o'clock, I'll go back into a 2.5-hour consulting session with clients and patients. And, the other night, 29 minutes past 6, the phones go over at past. We get a phone call, my dog's been ill for a week, I need to come now, sort of thing. So it's just managing that, being ready to go so that I get home in good time and I'm not still fretting or having to take work home and finish things that I didn't get done during the day. So it's just trying to, you know, make more of my time, get wound down, get home, be there for the family, and not be sort of still worrying and sweating about work, or taking work home so that I get home, I'm a bit short, rushing through something, and then, you know, bugger off and do something I need to do for work. Just trying to define and separate and get that sort of transition better and be home in a good time, which is somewhat dependent on what work comes in. But, you know, again, we can arrange and plan our day a bit better, I think, to try and control that. We can't manage every emergency, and literally till 6:30 it's our responsibility. But yes, if people wanted to ring at 9 in the morning instead of 6:29 would be great, but they don't do that.
We got no, if customers work perfectly for us, that we'd be living the dream, wouldn't we? Huh? Biggest takeaway for January?
Again, just I think that defining roles exercise, you know, what's my £150 an hour job, what's my £10 an hour job, and I think the homeschooling really emphasised that. What I was doing on those days, all the admin, sorting the invoices, doing the wages, you know, sorting out the ongoing, you know, sort of day-to-day management, looking into very much getting that spread over to other members of the team. Again, what are their roles? Are we defining that so they're getting the best out of them? Are we using all of the team correctly? And getting other people in, you know, to take that sort of less vital role away, so it frees me up to do the more important things. So if I'm not faffing with all of that during the day, I can get the consults done, I can get home in good time, and when I'm at home or on the you know, the homeschooling days, I'm not trying to fit things in. I'm focusing on what I need to be doing with the kids, rather than, you know, I'm off doing a phone call or doing an email at a key moment when they need me to be there, and then that just adds stress and hassle to their day and to mine. So I think that was a big bit, you know, define the role and, you know, delegate what you can to the right people, and if you need to, employ somebody else to do that.
Yeah, definitely. So there's lots of eye openers there, lots of wins, but lots of tweaks for improvement in February. I think, like, you've already identified just maybe a little bit more detail to planning, maybe just giving a little bit more attention to you physically and like at home in terms of those aspects. And I really think that comes from a review process, really reviewing at the end of the week. Like when you look back at your week, you go, okay, where did I win? Where did I lose? Why? And what were the triggers? And understanding those, you know, January has been an up and down month, probably for everybody, you know, in terms of everything that's going on. And I was been doing it for January, and really recognized that the mornings that I don't have that set routine, or if I don't get that exercise in, or it's a rest day, that means that I don't generally do my cold shower, and that generally means that I'm not functioning right, you know. And I've started seeing the neurological differences, like in terms of my energy levels, in terms of my concentration and delivery. And I see it in my videos. I see the mornings that I don't do that morning routine, the videos are a bit sluggish. When I do that morning routine, the fucking videos are on fire, you know. And it really, when you do that and you start making a note of how you're performing versus your actions, you then start seeing the difference between the need to show up and why you must show up. And I think, you know, it sounds like you're doing well. There's definitely little pockets for improvement there, right? Nice background as well.
It's that, you see, where I'm drying all the scrubs and everything else. You don't need that in your life, so.
Love it, mate. Thanks for coming on. Good work.
All right, thank you.
Any volunteers go next? Lou. How you doing, beauty?
Good morning.
How you doing?
It's been a bit of a week this week. We'll go into that. Biggest wins over the first month for me, it really been that those small increments each day do really add up. That 1% does really add up. And I know that when I was in the midst of it last month, it didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. But when I look back at it and compare where I am today to where I was at the start of January, yeah, they do absolutely add up.
Have you had any big wins from all of those small wins? So lots of those little wins, has a big win emerged from them all?
Actually, the realization and starting to connect with what I'm capable of again.
Good.
I thought I was operating at my best, and I'm not even close. That's been a huge realization for me.
Definitely.
And yeah, just that connection with what I'm capable of. has
Right.
come through.
Love that.
Improvement for me is absolutely consistency. It's consistency with everything, not one particular area, but just keeping that consistency with the key areas. And
Yeah.
for me, that is the morning routine, because it does massively impact the rest of my day and my week.
Yeah.
And the other is more of a practical one. It's showing up on LinkedIn. That's where my client is. It's not Facebook, and I need to be showing up more effectively and consistently on LinkedIn. So I've taken some action already to work on that one.
Okay, great.
My biggest takeaway is quite simply Jufti.
Who?
Jufti.
What's that?
JFDI. My just fucking do it. It's what my boss used to say to me many years ago, and it's that, but it's that sort of Jufti with, because I bloody well can.
Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
it sounds like there's some self-belief like returning.
I don't know that it's necessarily self-belief. It's that self-belief in the potential and the capability at that next level.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, in the fact that I can push myself further.
Good.
And when I think that, yeah, this is as far as I can go today, or this is as far as I can go this week, there is actually more in the tank than I realize.
Okay, nice. I like that. Good. And how are you measuring that?
I'm measuring it just going back to my basic daily habits, back to my basic daily process goals.
Good.
What do I need to do each day? And I keep track of that.
Love it.
With my little queue. And that's just part of my routine and review at the end of the day, checking off everything that
Did that say remember the mission at the top?
It did.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's
got remember the mission, and then it's got what my mission is.
Right.
As a prompt. So that's always there.
I'm loving this as well, and I'm loving it, and as well, like the messages. You might not think it's self-belief, but I'd like look at you and think like, wow, you really realizing your potential, definitely, and really realizing the levels of your capability in terms of like what you can achieve in your business, just by simply tidying up a little bit the chaos around us. Yeah. And like making it a little crystal clearer, right? Getting rid of the fog and being really crystal clear.
Yeah,
I'm loving that.
I think it is that reconnection with something I hadn't realized I'd lost almost.
Yeah, lovely. Love that.
Yeah.
So what's the big thing for February?
The big thing for February is it's LinkedIn. To do LinkedIn, I need my morning routine.
Okay.
I need my daily habits and my daily processes.
And have you done all your structured content plans for?
Yes.
Great, perfect. You're on it. Okay. Can you follow me on LinkedIn, and then I can follow you back and then start checking in and seeing what you're doing?
Oh, fantastic. Will do.
Perfect. Lou, brilliant wins, really good wins. Really pleased for you. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Okay. Glenn, let's go.
Hi, James. Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
Good. Biggest 2 wins.
Right. So last month I had said that I needed to get a new laptop for my business. I finally got it.
Great.
From Amazon before they stopped delivering things over here in Northern Ireland because of the Brexit thing.
Oh yeah, God, that's fucking nightmare.
So yeah, I got it in time. So thankfully I've got that now, so I can start to get a move on.
Okay.
Second one, I've got plenty of training done. So I've got the travel business training done and different mindset training. So this week I'm working on a Jay Shetty program.
Okay.
Last week I did a level up your life in lockdown challenge. So that was a 6-day challenge last week.
Is that with Tony Robbins?
No, that was actually, I think, just a week before.
Oh.
I was doing that as well, but the
Yeah.
trainings were like 3 hours long, so I didn't really finish that one.
Intense.
Yeah, well, I was intending to do it, but then every night was 3 hours, so I thought maybe not.
Okay, biggest areas for improvement?
So, yeah, last month you suggested about me doing a YouTube channel. Now, because I've been swamped with everything else, I haven't actually got that done, but I do intend to do that this month.
Do you know how long it takes to set up a YouTube channel?
I've been told it can take a while.
It take you about 15 minutes.
Yeah, someone did say quite a while. But
Glenn, you're going to do it today, and you're going to message me today and tell me you've done it.
Right.
You're not allowed to go to sleep till you've done your YouTube channel.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to write that on my. I'm just going to put you on my kill zone list. Have you come up with a content structure yet?
Basically just writing different stuff every day. At the moment, that's going on the Facebook page and Twitter, on Instagram.
Okay. So I want you to come up with a content structure.
Right.
All right. And so like what you're going to talk about on what day and when you're going to do it. Like, so you get some, so you, what you want when you do content and you put content out, you want people to know when you're doing it and when they can expect your show to be. Think about EastEnders or Coronation Street. Like if you watch them, you go and watch those programs at 7:30 every single night. And it's the thing they look forward to. When you're doing your show, the travel show, the Glenn travel show, or whatever it's going to be, they know that you're going to show up at 7 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My Rise to Thrive show, they know that it's going to be 5:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you know, and just slowly start introducing, trickling in routine and schedule, not only for you, but for your followers and the people that you want to watch you.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other areas for improvement? One more?
Need to be better organized. I've just been in a chaos mode, trying to just do things at random times, but that doesn't really help. There's no structure, so we need to build a structure every day.
Okay. So are you following, are you doing your weekly plans?
Yes, that's one thing that I have not really been keeping up with, is the app. So I need to keep doing that as well.
Why do you think you're not keeping up with the app?
Again, as I say, it's just chaos. Not making the time, not prioritizing enough.
There. It's not that it's chaos, it's just that you don't prioritize it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So like if you made it a priority, everything that we're doing there would change the way that you think about in terms of your mind and your head and the way that you work and your patterns. So if that's your focus, if every single morning your focus before 9 o'clock is making sure that you make accountability, you're going to be focused on yourself to do that. If you know that Monday night you're going to do breakthrough, you're going to make sure it's there. When you know that modules are going up, you're going to make sure that they're done. If you'll be honest with me, how many of the modules have you done?
I have got up to 8 done. I saw the 9th one go up this morning.
Yeah.
So I'll do that today as well.
Okay, good. So that's a good thing. That's a positive thing, right? So you've managed to keep up with the modules. So for February, we're going to focus purely on the basics of whatever you write down that you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. And really have a good think about what it is that you're going to do so that you're managing those days. I've already said here, we're going to, in some of the future trainings for this month, I'm going to do the management of your days. A lot of that is already in your course guides as well that you got as part of this. So you got the 10 modules. It's on Thinkific. You should have all have created an account. How to manage your day. There's like 6 or 7 videos in there detailing that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Biggest takeaway from January for you?
Well, I just need to get my finger out and get a move on pronto. So that is
right out of my mouth, Glenn.
Yeah. So pretty much just get on with things, prioritize everything, structure everything.
So
like I was working on the other pillars more than at the actual business, which needs to be the first priority, really, for me.
Well, you need
Um,
to be the first thing. You need to be the priority, and then business, like for you, like you need to build that business. Okay, so like remember, what I'm trying to do is create you to be the asset of your business. When you're in the right frame of mind, then you perform and make better decisions. And it's quite clear that you're not focusing on yourself first because you're not following the program or the checkpoints that we go along, right, in order to get the results that you want. You know, I would ask you, what's the alternative? If you didn't do the course now, if we said, right, you're not doing the course anymore, and you left the course, what would be the alternative for you?
well, I don't really think there is any alternative, really.
Okay, so it's a must to show up, right? It's a must to make this work. And if it doesn't, what are the consequences?
Basically falling behind and not getting a move on.
100%. And like, you want to progress, or you wouldn't be here. So if that's not enough to inspire you to make sure you show up every single day, and that's the reason that whenever you think, fucking chaos has taken over, when this is for everybody, whenever you get into that mindset or headspace of being in a chaotic, when it feels like you've got incoming everywhere, just recalibrate. Literally stand up, walk outside your house, walk around the block, come back in, write down everything that's going on in your head, and just recalibrate. Don't allow it to keep punching. It's like allowing someone to punch you in the head continuously. You know, walk away from it and take a breath and then go back. All right. So when you feel like that and you'll feel overwhelmed, Glenn, go away, brainstorm, recalibrate, make a tea, take 15, 20 minutes out and come back. And I promise you, you feel less intense.
Yeah, well, as well, the positive thing as well, recently I've taken on an accountability partner. So basically having weekly calls with them to make sure that I'm actually doing what I'm meant to do.
Okay, cool.
So
so you've got that going on and this course going. This course is designed to make sure you do what you said you were going to do. Okay, and I think that's what's really important to understand. And when you're checking in, that's what you're doing. You're showing up, right? So listen, by the end of the day, let's have that YouTube page up and then send it to me.
Right.
Happy?
Yep.
Sure.
Perfect.
Good man. Well done, Glenn. Right. Let's go, Stevie. Oh, let's unmute you. Sorry, I've muted you. Oh, I got my head.
There we go.
There you are. I see you.
I know, you saw me wander, didn't you? You saw the brain go.
I saw you went. I see it in your eyes, Stevie.
Yeah, no, I started doing my list for next week. It's all right. Right.
Biggest
I'm
two
here.
wins.
Find my brain. Okay, my 2 wins. First win is that I've definitely nailed this morning thing.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm loving it. When I first started, it would take me about an hour to come round. Now, I'm up at 4, by 4:15, I'm out with the dog, breathing exercises, back in, loads of self-care going on, stoked.
Love it. You're on fire.
Oh, I mean, I love it because it really helps me. By the time the rest of the world that wants to bother me is awake, I'm sorted. So I'm really happy with that.
Good for you. Good. Nice win.
What's the other win? Oh, yes. I really have learned that no is a complete sentence.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't explain. The answer is no, because a lot of the problems with my afternoons are that people expect me to just drop everything and do shit for them.
Yeah.
And I have a large van. And having a large van, you have a large circle of acquaintances who only ever call you when they need a van.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Good for you.
So I've done that. The 2, what was it?
Areas for improvement.
Yeah, losses. My exercise regime is completely fine. I really need to sort this out. But I have worked out that if I go around the block really fast, dragging the dog, I can do it and be back inside of 20 minutes, which just gives me a bit of headspace.
How does the dog feel about that?
He runs all the way home, but he knows at the point where we're heading home.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe Jamie could sort you out here, like who's a fitness pro right there. Wave, Jamie, handsome young man.
Jamie,
There.
yeah. Actually, you're in Llanelli, aren't you, Jamie? Yeah, I think we've come across each other before, because I'm in Swansea, and my problem is that I have something called BVH, which is bilateral vestibular hypofunction. I have 0 middle ear function, so I can't actually go out in the dark because I fall over.
Okay.
And I can't go on sand and grass and things like that because I fall over. And I spent a year on crutches, and that was enough. I've learned now.
Well, I think, Stevie, like if we can get you just moving, like in terms of walking, I think, you know, in terms of like just having that regime where you can do mobility, or you can maybe you can do a light home workout or something like that.
Well, I tell you what I have done is a couple of days ago, I found the Diamond Dallas Page exercise videos.
Okay.
DVDs. And he's pretty good because he works with people that have got all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
And so that is in my computer ready to go.
Okay.
So yeah, exercise is pretty.
Incorporate it into your morning routine, Stevie.
I will do. I will do. I've as I say, I do all the breathing stuff, but not physically moving because I'm really scared that in the dark I'll fall over.
Yeah, we don't risk that. Like maybe do something around lunchtime. Maybe the key with exercise is always to fit it in with your routine, within your lifestyle and your routine. If you're just trying to go, oh yeah, I'm going to work out tomorrow at some point, it never happens. But if you start getting into the habit of saying between 12 and 12:30 is my fitness block, you know, remember talking about periods or blocks?
Yeah.
That's your block. That's where you dedicate that time. You can do it without feeling guilty, without worrying about what you've got to do because you've written it down.
Yeah, the great thing is though, I'm at the point where I want to do it now, not where I think I feel like I've got chronic fatigue and I, you know, like sod that, I want to lie down.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm actually feeling like I really want and need to do it. So
all right, that sounds good. And other areas for improvement.
The other area of improvement is I'm fine until about 10:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Then it all turns to shit.
Why does it turn to shit?
I don't really know what I should schedule in there, because I schedule stuff in and I think, well, my head won't get around that. I suppose I make it up as I go along, and I do my weekly plan, and I think, well, that looks good. I'll highlight that one, but I'm not convinced I can do it.
So don't write it down. So like the idea of what you should be doing is like, you know, what do you need to do in your job? Like
what do I need to do?
So let me just explain this. So listen, one of the things that I think you would adapt well to are what are called sprints, and I will do some training on the sprints. So the sprints, if you think about school, they usually do 50 minutes. So you do 50 minutes and you take 10 minutes off. Okay, you do 4 sprints before taking lunch. So you're an early bird, so you start at 4. So you can start this at 8. So you can do 8 to 8:50 and then take from 8:50 to 9 off, 9 to 9:50, take 9:50 to 10 off, so on, all the way through to 12. Okay, do it for 4 hours straight. For each period, for each sprint that you do, you focus on one task. So when you do your brain dump and every single thing that you need to do to accomplish whatever the outcome is that you're trying to grab, you look at the things and go, right, what do I need to do to achieve that outcome? Well, you write down your list, right? Then you prioritize it. So you go it's either number 1 priority, 2 priority, or 3 priority. Then when you look at your block on a Monday, you then go, okay, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. So that's my biggest priority. I'm going to smash that on my sprint 1. I'm then going to do my second priority on sprint 2, my third priority on sprint 3, my fourth priority on sprint 4. And then by the time you get to that point, energy management then comes in, because you're then going to end up becoming quite tired, fatigued. Then you have to kind of think about, okay, now this is where I'm going to start planning in my socials, my posts, my emails for the next day, checking in on my emails. You wouldn't check your email until you've done your 4 sprints. what I would call logistical runnings of your business. That they're not taxing in any way in terms of draining your energy. They're just things that have to be done. And then you have to have a cutoff period. Like if you're getting up at 4, you will need a cutoff period at around 3. And 3 is the finish of your working day.
I think I was getting frustrated with myself because by 2, my brain's not working.
Yeah, 100%. I'm the same.
And that's and I guess you're giving me permission to say that's okay.
Yeah.
I've been at it since 4 a.m. I can
100%.
after 2 o'clock say no brain work now.
100%. And then just chill out after that. That's your recovery. Don't I think the biggest thing that all of us have at some point is going, fucking hell, I've got this time here, I'm watching Netflix or I'm chilling out or I'm walking and I feel guilty because I'm not working. You know, it doesn't always have to, that's not the way it always is. It's like what Tom was saying at the start. When you come into the office, you put your elite operator hat on, you become the asset of your business, you do your business, and then you go off. The way that I do this is that I always say I'm a part-time business owner. I'm a full-time dad, a part-time business owner, and I based everything around being a dad. So whenever I feel the pressure of going on, I go, oh, chill. Just remember, it's a part-time job. Honestly, and that works for me in my head. And it's suddenly all the pressure's taken off. It just brings you back to perspective. So don't be afraid to have time from you from 2 till bedtime.
Yeah, I think that's, I think I keep thinking I've got to keep doing this stuff.
Yeah, you don't.
Because, you know, my back is against the wall. I do need to get this challenge sorted. You were right. It is always, I do need to leave a fill week from the date to when it appears, because module 4 appeared this morning.
Yeah.
So I need to crack on with that now.
When is your challenge?
Sorry?
When is your challenge?
It is now the 22nd of February.
Okay.
There is no way I can do it on the 15th.
Good, that's fine. All right, that's fine. And you just work towards that on the sprints. Go away and work out the sprints. Next week's training I'll do on sprints. We go into detail.
That would be good because I really do. I really do need to do that, and I need to review. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that I can constantly review stuff, and I don't have to beat myself about the head and go, you completely fucked up, and you idiot, why do you do this? Yeah, and I'm like, and then I'm giving myself hell. And then I hate me and I hate everybody. And then
fucking hell, Steve, you're going down the road there. Tell me your biggest takeaway for
down
January.
the rabbit hole I was going, you know.
Tell me your biggest takeaway for breakthrough for January. Biggest takeaway.
The biggest takeaway is that I can constantly review. It's not set in stone. I can constantly review it. I can move it.
Great.
And that if I get it wrong, that's fine.
Right.
This is what I need to be doing. The more times I fail, the more times I know I'm moving forward.
Yeah, and I know you're moving forward because, you know, we talk about that, you know, when you message me and I can see it clicking in. It just takes time to click in. It takes time. Right. So you know what to do for February. You know where you've got to be. And when we talk next, we know where we want to be.
Yeah.
Good. Stevie.
If I have some questions for you.
Message me.
Right, yeah, is that okay just to message you?
Guys, everyone, if you need to ask me something, message me.
Because I really want to know your ethos behind doing the panel as opposed to doing the singular lives. It's not a conversation for now, but I really would like to know.
Panel?
The panel on your Fire It Up challenge.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, just fire me a question and I'll answer it.
Yeah, thank you. I'd appreciate that.
And that's the same for everyone, guys. Don't just message me. That's what I'm here for. Kazia and Hannah. Let's do Kazia first.
Okay, hi.
How are we doing? 2 biggest wins, apart from probably the big bollocking I give you.
So I was struggling with this one because I got the personal wins and I was like, oh, I should have some business wins too. But it feels really good. I got back to my routines. I'm tracking the routines again. And I got back to running, which gives me a lot of joy and fun. And this time I'm really taking good care of my ankle. I'm preparing so it doesn't twist again and gets me off running again. So this all feels good. And adding my midday workout with like some belly and arms exercises, this really feels good. and I'm driving very regularly. I'm a fresh driver. I did a driving license last year, so it feels good that now I'm getting more comfortable. I'm not having anxiety when I sit in the car anymore, so I can see
Good.
how I'm progressing with this.
Good.
And how practice changes things over. And for business part, I think I should really appreciate and see that I've spent a lot of time planning for my Q1 like quarter, what I want to do, what I want to sell. And I felt that I'm behind because I wanted to get it done by like mid-December, the latest. And I just kind of finished that. And I didn't realize that I needed to go through a process of like actually exploring various paths and looking at various models and thinking through what I want to do, what really bring me joy, how I can launch it, like what would work for me in my life, in my situation. So, and it just was frustrating that it's taking me so long because I've been rewatching lots of trainings and stuff. So right now I can tell I know what I want to do. And I feel I should celebrate, even though it feels like a failure. So it's because it took me so long.
No, it doesn't. That's part of the process, mate. So like, don't beat yourself. Don't overthink that, because like the process and going through the process and self-discovery is one of failure, learning, experience, and growing. We will never stop. If we're sitting here in 6 months' time and that's changed, that's only natural that's changed. But like I said to you in the message when you messaged me, and I said to you, you need to be fucking clear on what you want to do for the next part of your life, you know. And for you literally couldn't just grab that decision, and you have. And like, based on what you're telling me, you've got that decision and you know the path and you've got clarity. Now you can go all in on it without being like distracted.
Yeah,
right?
and it really feels good. I also sign up a new client and she's enthusiastic.
Good.
Things go so well, like the onboarding process and how she's committed. It's like awesome. I just love her, and she loves me back. So it's like really a wonderful thing. Excuse me?
True love.
Yes. like really, that's a good thing. So
areas for improvement, Ghazia.
It's like I really need to do what I plan to do, and that goes into like first how I structure my day. I have right now a good planning for how my deep work sessions should look like how I structure my day. I just don't do this.
Why?
It's like
in one sentence, tell me why. Do you believe in what you write down?
So in one sentence, I think I need to, I'm going to break down again.
Oh, Ghazia.
I need to be facing my fears. It's like when I either lose the confidence in the idea. I've been doing a lot of self-awareness and mindset work over these things recently. It's just like, it's never ending. You think you get to the point where you are good with that and then you are screwed again. So back to square one. You've seen my message. So it's like this kind of circle.
Yeah.
So it's like really, first of all, not being overwhelmed and really accepting that it's just where I am right now, and doing like Stevie, when you shared I think it was you, when you said, do what I can with what I have right now. I think it really need to be my mantra. So I started just writing this down. I can do this. I have everything I need and things are working out for me. Whatever happens, it's just, it's okay. So
stop putting pressure. So Ghazia, from my point of view, from an external place, you put far too much pressure on yourself. You overthink everything, you're trying to micromanage everything, and you're just not. Part of being an entrepreneur and a business owner is allowing things to flow. And then when something comes your way, you adapt and you overcome that situation, and you learn, you grow, you evolve. And I think sometimes when you force it too much, that's when there's confliction between what you want and what's happening. And you put yourself on a pedestal of where you feel you should be.
I do have this constant thing for not managing my expectation, not adjusting them to my conditioning, what you said.
Yeah.
So that's like, I think it's always somewhere, on when I'm not doing what I'm planning or why I start numbing and things. I'm sorry for
Don't be
breaking
silly.
down.
It's fine. It's good. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. So listen, for February, let's work on simplifying the plan. Like, let's calm everything down. Let's keep it super simple. The way that I want you to plan your days is by just having, did you see my video on the 3x3 model?
3x3, like you say, for the how I translating my job roles into the daily structure.
No. So each week you will have 3 things that you need to achieve in personal and professional life. Each day you will achieve 3 things each day that are going to help you achieve those 3 things. So it's the 3x3. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There are 3 outcomes each day that you must achieve that are the minimum standard. Okay. And each one of those is going to be a small step or little steps to achieving the 3 weekly outcomes that you want. This should align with your 28-day checkpoint. Okay. So we have our 90 days and then we break that down into three checkpoints. So everything that all of you are working towards right now, you're working towards a checkpoint 2, which is at the end of February. So what do you need to achieve at the end of the week to get you to that point a little bit closer to achieving that checkpoint? And then you kind of break it down into your day. Just keep it so simple. And then when you look at that, you've got to ask yourself, is what I've written down there in an alignment with what I need to achieve at the end of the 28 day? If it's not in any form related, then you're not going to do it. And then you literally just look at that. You go, right, from 9 to 10:30, you've got to sit, right, I'm sitting down here. I'm just going to do what's on there. And I think what ends up happening is you go, oh, fucking hell, I feel like I need to be doing something else. That's not the thing. So I'll do a little bit of that, leave the cup half full, and then go and do another thing. Leave that cup half full. Let's go and do another thing. And then sometimes you look at it, you go, okay, I've just sat down. I even looked at my plan. You've got to be able to get into the habit of sitting down, putting your journal out and doing everything.
I actually do that. Like, this is my planning sheet, for everything that I wanted to achieve in this while working with you. And that goes from like my yearly plan. There's my 90 days goals and the checkpoints. And I just have it with me every day. I'm looking at it also weekly, reviewing my plans and doing things. And it's like,
So trust in it. Trust your process. Gazia, you've got to trust your process. You've got to trust the path that you've set yourself. It's like you've written down something or you've set a goal or an aspiration that you want and you don't trust it. You're self-doubting yourself. You're second-guessing yourself.
I feel like it's I still put too much on the plate. That's a big thing. There are moments when I feel like I'm really managing well. So like, daily goal could be just write these ads for the client. That's it. Nothing more. So I feel really proud of myself to be able to say something like that because it would never be like that before. So that's a progress. Okay. But even today, I wasn't able to start, even with the morning routines and everything. I sit down and I just
Why couldn't you do the morning routine?
Excuse me?
Why couldn't you do the morning routine?
I did the morning routine, but then afterwards, I couldn't get started with my work day, with like what I didn't want to look at it really.
Why?
That's a question for the session I have afterwards today, probably, because like it was something I expect myself and I should be enjoying, like I'm working with this client. I'm going to review her videos that she sent me.
Tell me why you don't want to do it though.
And there's something that I don't know why. I have no fucking idea why. I really love her. I love working with her. Why I don't want to do this?
Okay. So where you are in your business right now, is a yes or no answer. Are you happy? Do you like what you do? Yes or no, nothing else?
Yes, I do.
Why did it take so long to think about it?
because I had a similar conversation with my mindset coach last week. She asked me the same question. And, you know, when I'm talking about my plans and how I'm doing things and what I want to do, is I'm all fired up. I'm all excited. But when actually it goes to sitting down and doing the things is where I trip over myself.
Are you excited by the prospect of where your business could go, or are you excited by working with those particular people? Like you stated that you loved this new person. Are you excited to be working with that individual because she's a nice person, or are you excited at the prospect of where your business is going and what the business is doing?
All of it. Like she's really a lovely person to work with, and she has big goals, and I'm really like, she's the client I'm having on my vision boards to get her to this like 7-figure mark with me. So this is all exciting, and I really feel excited. That probably, I think at some point I'm just not confident in myself, or like, you know, I'm an idea generator. I'm a brainstorming genius. I can have all ideas for everything you want me to achieve. But then when I sit down, that's where I think, okay, I fucking cannot implement this.
Do you doubt yourself?
I do doubt myself.
Okay. So do you think it's fair to say that when you sit down and you're about to start the work, that you don't think you're good enough to do it?
Excuse me?
When you sit down to start the work that you set yourself, do you think you're not good enough to do that work? Or do you doubt that the work that you will do will be good enough for the client? Yes or no?
My perfectionist totally kills me, I think.
Okay, so now we've got, so we're straight into the perfect mentality.
Yeah, that's the one. Because I always like, I have the copy for the ad, let's say. I'm looking at, okay, I might say it's good enough, but I want to tweak it and then it's like taking me 3 hours more after I've already finished it.
Okay. So you are suffering classic perfect mentality.
Yes.
You're just not, you're like anything that is you do is probably not going to be good enough.
And I've been doing so much to overcome this for like last 2 years. It's really frustrating to still be there. Oh, sorry.
Okay, don't be sorry. So what we do, Kezia, is we'll talk about it next week. We'll arrange a quick Zoom call, and we'll just have a really quick 10-15 minute chat, and I'll give you some things that I used that do for me. All right, and then we can go into it, and then you can cry all you want.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll for now, I also try to rethink about the 3 things I could do as like really my 1% forward.
I think the thing that we really need to work on for you to be effective, like you as the asset, is we've got to, number one, learn to stop overthinking everything and stop thinking of every fucking scenario that could possibly happen or go wrong, which is probably what you're doing. Like when you're doing your work, you're like, oh my God. Like no one is, but like what I want.
It's not the scenarios. It's like, you know, for example, I came up with this brilliant idea to do ad tear downs. I was really inspired. I was excited about that. And then I was like, okay, but I need a perfect auditing tool to break down every element of it. And I started working it. And then I'm like, no, but I need to add this, and maybe I should add that. And like, it's really tripping over myself.
I can feel it when you're talking.
Yeah.
Like you end up going down a rabbit hole in your fucking
life.
And
then I didn't do anything in that particular thing because I just couldn't finish it, or just even yesterday I had this post ready. I'm doing 100 tear downs in the next 30 days. Who wants one? And then I deleted it. Like I couldn't do this. So that's the example. Even though, you know, if each time I'm giving feedback to my clients, they absolutely adore it. They say it's on point, it's perfect, it's improving results, it's always a good one. So yeah. Brief, thank you, Paul.
So I think, definitely. So what I wonder if would be quite good for you, like you definitely need to recalibrate. And what I would probably say to you is give yourself permission to take tomorrow off and to have a long weekend. Put the laptop down, turn the fucking phone off, and just disconnect. Like just disconnect. honestly, Hannah, don't go anywhere. I'm coming to you now. 2 secs, right? Gazia.
Let's finish with me. If Hannah can attend, let's get over. with
Gazia,
Hannah.
I'll come to you next week. And we'll
Thank
do
you.
that. Okay. Hannah, let's go. How long have you got?
3 minutes. I've just
Okay.
pushed back my meeting by to 5 past. Sorry.
Give me your 2 wins. In fact, Hannah, I'll do it with you and Gazia next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll message you so we can get on there. Okay.
Okay.
Because I want you to be able to get that time. So it saves us rushing for this, and then we can just chat on there. So Gazia, Hannah, we'll have a quick catch up. Gazia will straighten you out, and Hannah, we'll get into how your January was. All right. So I'll message you both on the app. Look out for the message.
Thanks so much. Have a great
All
day.
right. You too, guys. Well done for being here. Lots to work on for February. You know, I kind of felt like January was just test and adjust for you. You all start to see the benefits of some shape or form of having more control in your business, and you as an individual, right? As that asset. And some of the training that we do, try and make sure you get the modules, and try and keep up with everything that's going on in terms of the accountability, and try and almost something I always end up sort of doing is not self-critique, but self-reviewing each day, and raising that self-awareness about the things that we can improve on. And it was really interesting when we were talking about the being your best, your absolute best. Lou was talking about it. It's like, absolutely look at yourself and ask yourself what percentage you're running at in terms of your business. Now, you don't have to be working at 100%. It doesn't mean you have to do 18 hours. But within the time that you allocate your life to in terms of work, within that small percentage of time, how can you make sure that you're absolutely doing your best? Well, it's making sure this is not on. It's making sure that when you come in, you look at your thing, you're going, right, that's what I need to do, bang, straight into it, and you focus. And the things that you do that your best are is not being distracted, it's not going off path, it's not going off mission, it's doing what you said you were going to do. If you write down what you said you were going to do, and it's the place that you want to be at, all you have to do is show up and do what you said you were going to do, and you're going to achieve the outcome that you want. That, I mean, it's that simple, but it's just dealing with that in there. That's your biggest distraction in here, right? And when we control that, when we do things that control that, the accountability, everything looks a lot different. Woo, that was deep. Right, listen, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy today's module if you haven't seen it, and I'll catch you all really soon. Reach out if you need it as well, guys. See you soon.